The circle of fifths is a diagram that shows essential information about every major scale. It is the most sensible way to organize major scales and is a useful reference for musicians and composers of all kinds. Notice that the circle of fifths diagram will be laid out like the face of a standard time clock. In order to complete this diagram, we will start by entering the scale that has no sharps or flats at the 12 o'clock spot, which is of course the key of C major. Next, to determine which key belongs at the 1 o'clock spot, we will go to the fifth note of the key of C and build a new major scale from that note, which is G. You should remember from the lesson on major scales that every major scale must contain each letter of the musical alphabet in order and finish with the octave of the first note. If I fill in the musical alphabet from G to G here, I will find that the step pattern for a major scale is not intact. Let's have a closer look. All of the notes follow the step pattern for a major scale until we get to the 7th note. There is supposed to be a whole step between the 6th and 7th scale degrees. But here we have E and F, which are only a half step apart. The solution then is to raise the 7th degree from F to F sharp. The result is a correct G major scale. To determine which key belongs in the 2 o'clock spot, we will go to the 5th note of the last scale we entered and begin a new major scale from that note, which in this case is D. If we follow the step pattern starting with D, we will find that the F sharp that was added in the key of G is still necessary in this scale, yet we must also raise the C to C sharp on the 7th degree. The key of G contains only one sharp, whereas the key of D contains two sharps. Let's make a list of which notes we are raising each time we build a new scale. This list will be called the order of sharps. So far, we have added sharps to the notes F and C. Moving on, we will go to the 5th note of the D major scale to determine which key belongs at the 3 o'clock spot, which is A. We will continue this order of operations until we build the scale in which every note has been sharped. On the circle, the 5, 6, and 7 o'clock spots have each been split in half. Keep the sharp keys listed on the right half of each of those spots. The left side of those spots is reserved for the enharmonic equivalents of those keys. Let's have another look at the order of sharps. That is, the order sharps were added to the scales as we made our way through the circle of fifths. If a scale contains two sharps, the two notes at the top of this list will be the notes that get the sharps. If a scale contains three sharps, the three notes at the top of this list will be the notes that get the sharps, and so on. Memorizing this list can be helpful for several reasons. A mnemonic device is often used to help in memorizing this list, and it is as follows: fat cats go down alleys eating beans. I will now build a correct E major scale by adding the sharps after arranging the letters in alphabetical order. The E major scale contains 4 sharps. First, place the letters in alphabetical order from E to E. Next, add the sharps by following the order of sharps. Fat cats go down. This is now a correct E major scale. By memorizing the amount of sharps or flats contained in each major scale, and memorizing the order that sharps or flats are added to each major scale, any major scale can be conceived.